Let me tell you about a man, not just one, I've seen many. Because in my years of practice, I've met more than a few. Bold, brilliant, bounced from home to home, foster care, adoption, abuse. Survival isn't just his story, it's his skill set. He was asked to take a psychological test more than once. He couldn't finish it. Not because he wasn't smart, because he didn't understand the questions. The man giving the test? Kind, but disconnected. And the test? Written in a dialect he was never taught. He's survival smart, street smart. But that test wasn't built for his vocabulary of harm. It didn't speak trauma, it didn't speak fear, it didn't speak code switching or threat scanning or what's the safest answer to say so I don't get moved again? More than once, in different settings, I've heard men like him request someone to help. So they said they want you to be there. At first, I thought they meant me, but they were asking for someone they trusted. To translate, let me say that again. They asked for a translator, not from one language to another, but from survival to standardized. And in those moments, I knew trauma is a mind-altering substance, not metaphorically, neurologically. Trauma alters working memory, processing speed, pattern recognition, emotional regulation, verbal fluency, executive function, attention span. It doesn't just leave bruises. It rewrites the interface. So what happens when you give a trauma-born brain a test built for the regulated? You don't measure intelligence, you measure translation fatigue. Because when your first language is trauma, every standardized test is written in a foreign dialect. Here's what they don't tell you. What they call language delays might be silence, weaponized for safety. What they call behavior problems are often trust tests in disguise. What they call emotional dysregulation is actually threat calibration. These men aren't failing cognitively, they're just bilingual, fluent in pain and performance, in hope and hypervigilance, in how do I survive this room instead of how do I impress this tester. And here's the lie, that IQ tests are neutral, that they measure potential, that they are fair. But tell me, how is it fair to ask a person who's been hit, violated, moved, erased, to decode metaphor before they've been taught they're safe? So yes, IQ and other lies. They told brilliant men in pain because men like him, they are intelligent. They just need a translator, not for language, but for the life they've lived. And if you're asking for my references, you already missed the point.